Hello, good morning, everyone. I see Victor. Good morning to you, sir. Valentine. Okay. Okay. I hope that's a good try, a good attempt. Good morning to you. You're welcome. Can I have additional confirmation so we can hear me? The audio is good, it's loud and clear. Endurance. Good morning to you. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Carlos. Welcome, sir. Right. Anoze Chukwemeka. Thank you very much, sir. Yusuf, it's great to have you. Welcome. Good morning to you, sir. Right. Thank you very much for the confirmation. Okay. Great. Thanks for the thumbs up as well. Thank you very much, Endurance, for your kind work. I got that. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. Very well. Very well. Thank you very much, Carlo. Thank you for joining. How about yours? I hope it was very well too. Thank you very much for asking. Shanu Ulusoga, thank you for joining. Welcome. It's great to have you on today's edition of just one more minute and then we get started. So we can allow more people to join in. In case you're having uh, technical issues, this is also the time to get that sorted as we get started. A few more seconds to go. It's Saturday. Good morning to you, sir. All the way from London. It's great to have you join us. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for joining. Thank you. It's great to have you. Okay, I guess we can get started right away. Okay, Memunat. All right, thank you for the confirmation. Thank you very much. It's great to have you. Thank you for the confirmation, Victor, as well. It's great to have you join us. Thank you very much. Everyone that has confirmed so far. Thank you very much for the confirmations. Thank you for taking the time out to join us yet again. It came from Port Harcourt, all the way from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much. It's great to have you join us. All the way from Port Harcourt, I have it came in Funat. Thank you, sir, for taking the time out to join us on today's edition of the MMR Morning Market Review. All right. Okay. Let's get right to it. So, good morning once again. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen, and all traders as well. Good morning to you. If it's your first time, it's great to have you. Good morning to you too. And you're most welcome. We're happy to have you join us on today's edition of the Morning Market Review, MMR for short. As a quick reminder, especially for those that are just joining for the first time, as a quick reminder, on this forum every day, we bring in different analysts on a daily basis from Monday through to Friday, right? 8 to 9. Yeah, so during this hour, we get to look at what's going on in the markets in terms of fundamental events and most importantly, these technical setups that we have. And we do all of this with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few trade ideas from these analyses on a daily basis, especially for today. And then we also look at assets that we can also have to watch list for the rest of the week as well. Okay. So let's get right to it. Usually, I will start with the majors. And when I say the majors, I mean pairs with USD as one of the currency. All right. Say the majors, and then pairs with USD as one of the currencies, whether as the base or as the counter currency. Okay, so we start with the majors and then start examining other pairs of interest and even the ones we are interested in. Okay, as it concerns fundamentals, we really don't have much for today that would have so much impact on price. Okay, so I'm going to skip that. All right, so I'm just going to get straight into the technical setups that we have. We're going to be looking at the important key levels for those assets. And of course, we're going to start with the dollar index, because I believe to a large extent, once we understand the direction of the dollar itself, we can easily relate this to the rest of the major pairs, all right? And even the indices as well, okay? And I also like to add that all of this is also done with the hope that when you're listening well enough, you are also able to, using some of the analysis, using the approach, you see the thought process, and eventually you are also able to come up with your own profitable strategies that gives you an edge over the markets. At the end of the day, it's all about the edge. It's all about edge, right? So I'm going to put up my screen right about now. Just a second while I do that. Debayo Additional, it's good to have you. I haven't seen Mr. Brown. All right, just a second. Okay, right there, I have the USD index, the USD index, all right? And then for the USD index, this is the daily time frame. Now, the daily time frame, I like to start with the daily time frame because I believe for me it's the best place to start. And on the daily time frame for me, I can determine the trend, determine the important key levels, support and resistance levels. So I normally use this as my anchor chart where the main analysis is carried out. And then I tune down to a much lower time frame. I could go as low as 15 minutes or 30 minutes for entry opportunities so that my entry is more precise. And then I have a fantastic risk reward ratio as well. Okay. So that's why I go all the way down to 15 or 30 minutes time frame for entry. And I believe once you master the art of analyzing multiple time frames as this, you'll continue to get a clearer, more accurate picture of markets, of what's going on in the markets. And of course, when you have that, it definitely will lead to making smarter and profitable decisions. All right. So that's the daily time frame, like I said, for the USD index. Okay. Now, a little backstory before we get back to the daily time frame. This is what the monthly time frame looks like. Now, I say monthly time frame because as much as possible for the weekly and monthly time frame, for us as day traders or as scalpers or intraday traders, we really do not pay much attention to the weekly or monthly time frame because for me, I believe they are so far out that they really do not have much relevance to us as day traders. All right. And I'd like to use this example a lot. Imagine if you're trying to maybe spy on your neighbor, of course, lives right beside you, and instead of just using a ladder to peep at your neighbor, you now take a rocket ship, for instance. What it means is that that rocket ship is now so far in space that you can hardly see the thing that matters to you, which is your neighbor. All right. So that's how that's the perspective I have for the weekly or the monthly time frame. However, we can of course use them to also get some perspective of the overall direction of the market. All right. Um, so that's why for me, this is quite important. And then I'm going to show us for, I think, pounds USD too on the weekly time frame as well, just to get some perspectives, all right? And then we can get our key levels on the daily and then go as low as 15 minutes or 30 minutes for entry opportunities, all right? So this is USD index on monthly time frame. And then this dates back to as far as 2010, okay? As far back as 2010. Yeah, I think by your patience, it's been a long while. I hope you're doing very well. Right. So started as far back as 2010, and then we have this ascending channel, which has impacted price multiple times. Here as support, here we have these levels of resistance, 1, 2, 3, right there. We're not able to go above that trend line resistance. Right there as well as support, a few pips away, right here as a that level as support as well. And then fast forward to what we have currently, also supported price. And then this is for November, this for October, this for September, this for August, this for July, and this for June. All right, so we have these on the market time frame looks like sideways. It's like sideways movement. Okay, so for me, when price got to this trend line support, and then for July we got this bullish engulfing candle. Of course, I knew that price is supposed to continue to print higher prices from that level. Okay, however, cost returned right back to the trend line support. Okay, right back to the trend line support, and now we have what looks like a morning star pattern. Right, if you know your candlestick formations, like a morning star pattern, which is also a bullish reversal pattern. All right. Now let's take all of this. So all of this points to the fact that we still have a bullish dollar. Okay, all of this points to the fact that we still have a bullish dollar on the monthly time frame. So let's take that to what we have on daily now. Okay, so on daily, on trend, okay, on daily time frame now, we have the structure for an uptrend. Okay, so we see this high, we see higher low, right? We see higher high, yet another higher low, and on and on and on, higher high, higher high, and then here we have the recent higher low. Right. Now, before this higher low happened, I remember I drew this level for us as the point that I expect the pullback to get to at the time. Okay. I was telling us how I expect this pullback to come into this area before we begin to see higher prices from the USD index. And so far, that is playing out quite nicely. Okay. Now, currently, this is of course, it was the Fibonacci tool that we used to get these two levels. This is the 50% level, and here we have the 61.8% level, which are the two significant pullback levels on the Fibonacci tool. All right. So right now, price is now back above the 50% Fibo level, which is also quite significant. So moving forward, this is a critical level to watch at 99.35. It's a critical support level to watch, right, at 99.35. Now, if price breaks that, all right, if sellers are able to push price below 99.35, then it would mean that we get a much deeper pullback for the USD index. However, if buyers are able to sustain this break back above 99.35, then that would mean it has potential to continue to push higher from this current level. That's on the daily time frame. Remember, I said I'll use the daily time frame to get important key levels, all right, our support, our resistance. Okay, so let's take that to 4 hours first. Let's take that to 4 hours. Remember, we have eyes on 99.35 critical support level. And then this is also looking at like an inverted head and shoulder pattern, which in itself is also a bullish reversal pattern. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this further to note that level. Right. So we take that to 15 minutes now. So on this 15 minutes time frame, what are we looking for? We're looking for some bullish signals from this 15 minutes time frame. All right. We're looking for some buying pressure. We're looking for bullish reversal patterns. All right. We're looking for buyers stepping in and taking control so that we can have confidence that the USD index will continue to push higher from this support level. And then the expectation will be that pairs like Euro USD, pairs like Pound USD, NZD USD, USD CAD, CHF, the major pairs in summary, the major pairs, we would expect the major pairs to react accordingly. All right. For example, if this continues to print higher prices from the current support level, then we can expect USD to continue to experience a decline as well as pounds USD. Okay. So from this current level, what I need to see here, like I said, would be buying pressures from this current level, bullish reversal patterns, so that I have confidence that price continue to push higher from this current level. Okay, so that's for the USD index. And what that means is that that's the expectation for the dollar index. Then now start looking for opportunities to sell on Euro USD or even pounds USD, opportunities to buy on USD CAD or USD CHF or USD JPY. All right. Now, what would invalidate all of that would be if we now get a close back below that support right there, get a close back below 99.35, then we may be gearing up for some push to the downside, right? Maybe gearing up for some push to the downside. So this is the level to watch, quite critical. Ask me 99.35 for the USD index. Okay. So we take that to Euro USD first. We take that to Euro USD. Okay, this is pound D. I'm not going to start from here. I'm going to start from Euro USD. Yeah, I'm going to start from Euro USD. Okay, so for Euro USD, this is 4 hours, but of course, we're going to start from the daily chart again, which is our anchor chart, where the main analysis is carried out, either 4 hours or daily. Again, the goal there is to get the important key levels, and then we can take that to much lower time frames for entry opportunities. All right. Now for Euro USD, when we had this bearish move right there, I was posting a question to us at the time that if we're going to get a push all the way to 1.14535, or we're going to see or experience an early bounce from Euro USD. And so far, we got the early bounce from Euro USD. And this is from 5th of November. Euro USD has trended higher. So that means for the past 2 weeks now, it's been reaching higher lows and higher highs. And this is no coincidence because it's the same expectation remember we have for USD index. While that pullback is happening on USD index, we would naturally expect Euro USD to continue to bring higher prices as well. Okay, so since 5th of November, this has trended higher, but the downtrend we started since September, to check. It started since September when a higher price was rejected here above 1.19. That's why we have this long upper grid right here. All right. And since this happened, we're seeing series of lower highs and lower lows all the way to a few pips away from 1.14535. All right. And then price started to push higher from that point. Okay. So for me, all right, for me, remember I've said that while USD index is above 99.35, then it has the potential to continue to push higher until we see a confirmed break below 99.35. All right. So what that means for Euro USD is that we can expect this to continue to experience a decline while USD index is above 99.35 and it stays bullish above 99.35. Adebodu, I hope you can see it now. Hope you can see it now. Okay, so that's the daily time frame. So this right here, 1.16, is a critical resistance level for Euro USD as well, just like we have 99.35 critical support level for USD index. Of course, you would have noticed that the Euro USD is essentially the inverse of the USD index, right? So now for me, for the Euro USD to turn bullish, it would have to break above 1.166, all right? Now, if you look at this downtrend pattern, started all the way here, created a low, a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then a lower high right here, okay? So from this lower high, we expect price to create a new low that will be lower than this previous low point, all right? Now, what would, like I said, invalidate that now be if we get it close above 1.168, that's when this turns bullish for me, okay? But before that, of course, buyers will need to clear 1.16, all right? Buyers will need to clear 1.16 for this to push higher, right? But as long as the USD index is above 99.35, I said expect price to push higher. So let's take this to 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so taking this to 15 minutes time frame, we have highs on 1.16. That's our critical resistance level right now. So the expectation is that we see more convincing selling pressure below 1.16 so that we can take sell opportunities right here. Okay, we see more convincing selling pressure below 1.16 so that we can take sell trades right here. And for me, that would mean on this time frame, that would mean a close below this level. Okay. So far, we see some consolidation. All right. So far, we see some consolidation inside of this rectangle. All right. So I'll be waiting for price to break below that level in order for this to continue to push lower, and then I can take my sell trades. Okay. Once I see that break below support area right here, that's what. Two would be if we now instead see a push back to the resistance at 1.16, and then at that resistance, I get some bearish reversal patterns at 1.16. That's based on selling pressure. Now, so far, it's created a support here, and then the resistance remains at 1.16. Okay, this is the 15 minutes time frame now. On the 15 minutes time frame, the goal here is to execute the trade. Okay, is to execute the trade, is to look for entry on the 15 minutes time frame. So the way I take my trade here would be number one, I see price retest resistance at 1.16, confirm some bearish reversal patterns at 1.16. That would be my trigger to sell, or price breaking below this support right here. on the 15 minutes time frame. Yeah, right here. Okay, so that's I need to see one of these two things for me to take a sell right here on Euro USD. Number one, it pushed back to resistance at 1.16. I get some bearish reversal pattern at that resistance. That will be my trigger to sell. Or a break below support around 1.15932 or thereabout. I see a break below that. Then that would be my trigger to short Euro USD as well. So that's what I'm looking out for Euro USD 15 minutes time frame. Okay. So next up we have pound USD. Are you referring, Jaika, are you referring to Euro USD SAR, bullish engulfing? I don't know if you mean this one. If you mean this one, you're right. But you also need to take note of this resistance at 1.16. You see how convincing this is, all right? This is really convincing, okay? And then imagine the fact that it's this convincing, but so far it's unable to go above 1.16, all right? And that should tell us something, okay? Even though this is really convincing and significant, still it's unable to go above 1.16, all right? So which still remains the analysis we have for Euro USD, all right? And I hope you get that. Okay, so next up we have pound USD. Next up we have pound USD, of course, similar to USD. Yeah, remember I said there's something I want to show us here with the time frame as well. Just this second. Okay. Don't mind the chart. I like to still keep my levels. I don't take them out. I like to still keep them. Okay, so this is the weekly time frame. I remember I said the weekly or the monthly time frame do not really have much relevance to us as day traders. Of course, we just tend to get some perspectives on what's going on in the markets, all right? So we can have a wider view, okay? And for this weekly time frame now, since we got this bullish weekly pin bar, right? This right here, it's called the pin bar, all right? This happened 2 weeks ago. Now, naturally, because of this bullish pin bar, one would expect price to push higher, even aggressively, since we got this bullish pin bar. But you'll notice that since we got that, it has really been stalking. Okay, it's really been stalking. It's been more of a sideways market for me than bullish. All right, that's the important thing that I want to point out here on the weekly time frame. So we take that to daily time frame, which is our anchor chart where the main analysis is carried out. Then we tune down to the monthly one for entry opportunity. Now for pound USD, it's been sideways, no doubt about that. It's been sideways for a number of days. All right, it's been sideways. Also above this critical support level at 1.314. Okay, above this critical support level at 1.314. Okay, and then it's been sideways as well. So for me, because if you look at pound USD here is a counter currency. So if USD continues to push higher above 99.35, then we can expect a decline, all right, from pounds USD. Okay, we get a bullish dollar, right? So here, pounds USD, this is the level to watch at 1.314. This level is critical support level. To look back, you see how that level is really significant, all right? So we have it back here, supported price, back here as well, and then here as resistance, okay? And then I'm sure if we continue to go back, we'll see more levels, all right? But this is, of course, sufficient, okay? So that's it on daily. Now let's take that 15 minutes to see what we have. Okay, so on this 15 minutes time frame, this is the support level that sellers need to take out in order for this to uh, get really bearish. Okay, this is the support level that sellers need to take out. That's what I need to say in order for me to get bearish on pounds USD. Okay, as long as the US dollar stays above 99.35. In the event that the US dollar index breaks below 99.35, then we can expect this to continue to push higher above 1.314. But if USD index continues to push higher above 99.35, then we can expect this to get higher. Okay, so that means we also need to keep an eye on the dollar index. Okay, we need to keep an eye on the dollar index. Right. So let's take USD CHF next. USD CHF. Now USD CHF is also one that I've talked about a number of times, especially because of these triangle right here. I remember I highlighted this purple, changed it to purple, so it's obvious. All right, you see that. So see how price stayed inside of this triangle right there, okay? And then the trend line resistance, of course, impacted price a number of times. We got a break above it here. We got a break back inside of that triangle, closed back above it yet again, and then we tested it as support, and then we got that aggressive move, which was cut short by resistance at 0.810, and then price fell all the way back to that support. Okay, so from this support on the daily time frame, this is our key level, 0.792 support. All right. So what this means is that as long as price stays above that, you can expect USD CHF to push higher. And then here, USD is the base currency. Okay, so if it gets bullish, if the USD index gets bullish from the current level above 99.35, as highlighted earlier, then we can expect this to also continue to print higher prices from the current level. Okay, so what it means is that as long as USD index stays above 99.35, we can continue to look for opportunities to buy right here. Okay, so let's take that to 15 minutes. So we take that to 15 minutes. Okay. So 15 minutes, see this level as well. Let's see if we can connect a trend line. Okay. All right. So here we have it as resistance, and then price broke above it, and since then it's retested the trend line as support, and then we have the recent touch right there, give us this bullish engulfing candle. Now we're seeing a follow through candle. See that? So this still points to a bullish USD CHF. So as much as possible, continue to take buys from here, continue to take buys from here, which we saw this earlier, saw this when this bullish engulfing candle closed, so that we can take our buy right from the opening of this candle, right from the opening of this candle. All right. So if you already have a buy here, that's fantastic. All right, that's fantastic. For me, I would not want to be chasing after price. I would rather wait for price to again break above this level for me to now take my buy above that level. Except you are aggressive, that's when you jump right in for a buy. But for me, I'm going to wait for price to again take out this resistance at 0.795 or thereabout, and then I'll take my buy above that since I missed this level already. All right. So I've entered at the opening of this candle. I've confirmed a bullish engulfing candle right here. This would have been the perfect entry level, especially on this 15-minute time frame. All right. So because we have missed that, for me, I'm going to be waiting for price to break above 0.795 for me to take a buy right there, right? Or if I get a retest of that level, that's for USD CHF. That's for USD CHF. NZD card channel on daily time frame. Okay, I'm going to do that shortly, which fair value gap is more valid that prices will return to either 4 hours or 1 hour. Okay. For me, it's 4 hours. For me, it's 4 hours. I'm only going to use the 1 hour for confirmation. What does that mean? On the 1 hour time frame, you're seeing price returning to that fair value gap, and then you have confirmation. You have sufficient reason to believe that it's going to happen on the 4 hours time frame as well. Okay, because before it gets to 4 hours, you must have completed that on 4 hours. But of course, the 4 hours is stronger than 1 hour time frame. Okay, NZD card. I'm not sure I have that here, but I have this NZD USD. Let's see. I'll quickly get to it. Somebody pointed out something interesting, so I want to look for it. Okay, this is daily. This is what it would look like for me. Don't know if that's what you have as well. Okay, then I can use that to draw the resistance side. I need as many candles touching it as possible. If I put it here, I only have this level. So I'm going to put it here instead, and then treat these two levels as fake out, okay? Because I have, it is on this level that I have the most number of candle touches at that level. So I'm going to treat this level here as a fake out, all right? And the level here as well as a fake out, right? That means the breakouts that failed, okay? So price broke above that resistance and then was quickly reversed and back inside that channel, okay? So for me, again, it broke below the support side right there. We have a retest currently. It's been unable to break back inside that channel. So what it means is that this is currently acting as resistance. So endurance, you are right with your observation, okay? It's currently acting as resistance. We got this break below the support side. We have a retest, okay? So let's take that to 15 minutes. okay, and it's currently declining. It's currently declining, all right? Okay, so from this current level now, we may need to wait for this candle to close bearish, and then that will give us the additional confirmation that we need to short NZD card. If you're already in a sell, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right. For me, what would invalidate this spread up here on the 15 time frame would be a close back above that resistance. And that would mean we may get a push higher to that trend line resistance. Okay. But on this 15-minute time frame, we get a bearish candle at the end of this 15 minutes, then that would confirm selling pressure, all right, for NZD card. That's very fantastic uh, endurance. Yeah, that's fantastic. NZD USD this week that's happening. What is this? Okay, I'm going to check that out. To sell that instrument. Ajayi Kayode, you're right. You're right for NZD card. You're correct. Okay, NZD USD. I don't see the fake out you're referring to. For me, I'm looking at this descending channel, okay, for NZD USD. This is the daily time frame. Remember, that's our anchor chart. Carry out the main analysis here, then we tune down to a lower one for entry opportunity. That's what I did for NZD card, if you noticed, okay? Right, so for NZD USD, we have this descending channel, all right? And then price recently tested the support side, the trend line support, it pushed higher, all right? And then we have resistance now at 0.5684 or thereabout. For NZD, yes, we have resistance right here, then we have support right there. Okay, so currently it's kind of stuck between resistance at 0.56854 and support at 0.56307. Okay, so you can expect a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. We mentioned NZUSD. I live for the schedule. Okay, so this is how I'm going to be trading the NZUSD. All right. Currently, I believe it is stuck inside of this area between 0.56854 and 56307. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the daily time frame. All right. So now for the NZD USD, USD is a counter currency here. NZD is based above 99.35 for the USD index. If it continues to push higher, then we can expect this to break to the downside. Okay, if USD becomes really bullish above 99.35, you'd expect this to break to the downside. That is, break support and then continue to uh, fall. Okay, then continue to fall. Let's look at 15 minutes. All right, so we have 56854 level. Let's go back to it to be sure. 56854, that's correct. Okay, so we see how price has pushed away from that resistance. Okay, see how price has pushed away from that resistance. Okay, all right, brilliant. So, NZD USD 15 minutes time frame, if we get a bearish reversal pattern for this current level, then that would be my trigger to sell. That would be my trigger to sell. And don't forget, because USD is a very important currency here, all right? It's a major one. Above 99.35, as said, it continues to push higher, then this would experience a decline from the current level, all right? So for me to short this, I need to see a break back below this trend line. Currently, it is acting as support, all right? You see what happened here as resistance right here. Here too, as resistance, but here, price has now broken above that trend line resistance currently, okay? So this, to a large extent, will determine what happens next. All right. At the end of these 15 minutes, if this remains bullish, then you can expect more push to the upside for NZD USD. If, on the other hand, at the end of this 15 minutes, we have a bearish candle right here, have a bearish candle closing back below this trend line with support currently, it automatically flips the trend line to resistance, all right? And then you can expect price to push lower if that happens, okay? So for me, NZD-USD is a waiting game, all right? This is a waiting game currently for NZD USD. You're welcome, Musiliu, I believe. It's great to have you. Musiliu, that's very good. That's very good. All right, so we wait out this 15 minutes. Of course, a lot can happen in 15 minutes to determine where this goes next, okay? NZD USD. USD JPY is also one that talked about a number of times because of this ascending channel as well. So this ascending channel, okay? So currently, price is now above out of that channel. All right, it happens right here. Let's check what day that was. 13th, 12th day of November. So price took out that trend line resistance. So automatically flips to support. Okay, flips to support, and then so far you see how price has stayed above that support. Okay, USD JPY. All right. So what it means is that this trend line right here, we're using it as our support. Okay. So let's take that to 4 hours first. Okay, we have our support here. See this bullish pattern here as well for USD JPY. And this is the last high that was created. We got a higher low and then price pushed higher, right? So going to note this level. Right. Going to note that level right there. 1 hour, this is what it looks like. This is still at level, and then 15 minutes. Okay, so currently it's pushing to the downside, and then I'm going to have eyes on 154.9. Going to have eyes on 54.9, 154.9. Right. So if price returns to that support, I'll be waiting for some bullish confirmations at that support, just like we got back here. Price returns to the support, we got this bullish confirmation, and then this is our trigger to buy. All right. So I'll be waiting for the same pattern right here. So this continues to push lower, push all the way back to 154.9, and then I wait for some bullish reversal patterns at 154.9. Then that will be my trigger to go in for a buy, all right? What would invalidate that again would be if it was below that support. And here, USD is the base currency. So again, we have eyes on the USD index staying above 99.35 and then continues to push higher above 99.35. That would be very fantastic. Okay, for NZUSD, you're welcome, Sabs Brown. I was looking out for you. NZUSD, same one, can be one close above the trend line while wait for the zero candle to close bearish before shortening. Since general position is if candle lose above the trend line, we can buy. Yes. Now your submission is correct, sir. I'm going to go back to it. Your submission is correct, right? Your submission is correct. However, because this is the 15 minutes time frame, that's why we need additional confirmations. Now, if you take this candle, just this candle that closed above the trend line, and you're going straight for a buy, you would be right, all right? You would be correct. But it's also possible that the next candle will close back below the trend line, all right? And then your buy would have been wrong. Now, if that's your strategy, that's fantastic because as much as you stay with it and you are consistent, you would have an edge over the market, definitely. What I mean is, as long as price takes out, breaks above a trend line as this, go straight in for a buy, all right? If you continue to do that, you will have a fantastic strategy, like I said. But for NZUSD here, we started from USD index. I'm not sure when you joined, and currently USD index is strong above 99.35, and that's why I'm a little bit careful of going in for a buy for NZD USD. All right, and especially because this level has restricted price multiple times. Okay, so now that we have it above that trend line, if you go straight in for the buy here, that's fantastic. But for me, I'd like to wait for this 15 minutes candle yet again to see if it hangs bullish as well. Then can now go in for a buy. All right, can now go in for a buy. That's the dollar index, James. That's dollar index. That's dollar index. That's basically the USD that you see on pairs that you see on currency pairs. Okay, and like I said, we use that to determine the direction of other major pairs. That is pairs with USD as one of the currency. We started from there. Again, I'm not sure when you joined. All right. One more before we call it a day. No, two more actually. Euro AUD. We're not going to do much here for me because this has been ranging for a really long time, right? I just need us to add this to our watch list because of the range, the consolidation that we see here. Normally, I would say that the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. And that's why I'm keeping this on my radar to see what happens eventually. However, we can trade this from support to resistance, from resistance back to support for as long as it stays within that range. But eventually, expect this to break out of this consolidation phase. If you look at USD CAD, it's had a 2-year consolidation phase, all right? A 2-year consolidation phase. I think it was from 2022 to 2024. Time will not permit me right now to go back to it because I still want to touch on oil before we call it a day. For USD CAD, I think between 2022 and 2024, it's had a 2-year consolidation phase, and eventually price broke above the resistance side of that consolidation sometime in October 2024, and then it delivered close to 1,000 pips when that happened. Okay, if you check USD CAD. So so far, this has lasted for since June so far when it started. All right, since June. Then we still have it so far. All right. So remember, I said longer consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. All right, so I touched on oil before we call it a day. Oil is one that I've highlighted a number of times as well. And reason is because from the OPEC, we got news that beginning from December, okay, we're going to have an increase in production output, all right, for about 137,000 barrels per day, 137,000 barrels per day, okay. We're going to have that increase in production from the beginning of December, all right. And if we're going to have an increase, that would mean there's going to be surplus, and then we can expect price to fall. Okay, we can expect price to fall. Scarcity will make price go up. Surplus will make it crash. Okay, so so far, if we look at what we have for oil, we have trend line right here. Here as resistance, here as resistance as well. We're going to shoot above it, but close back right below it. Here as resistance as well, and then most recently here as resistance as well. Okay, so as much as possible, I'm looking for opportunities to sell here. All right, sold about 3 times now, and I'll continue to do that. All right, continue to do that. I'll continue to do that as long as it stays below this trend line resistance. Okay, below this trend line resistance. I continue to look for opportunities to sell. And then we also have resistance at 64.5. Right, so I continue to take sell right there. Right, so this is where we draw the curtain for today. This is where we draw the curtain for today. All right, this is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank you very much again for taking the time out to join us on today's edition of the Morning Market Review. It's been great talking to us for the past hour, right? Here is wishing us all a great trading day. Okay, we've been able to touch on a number of assets, and then we'll be looking back on them for entry opportunities, especially on the 15 minutes time frame. All right. Join us same time tomorrow from 8 a.m. again, Wednesday, on another edition of the Morning Market Review. Thank you very much. Later today, in the next hour, we're also going to have an indices session. You can also plan to join that. Should you have questions around indices, that would be your opportunity, especially if you have trades going on those indices, with the opportunity to make them known so that we can look at them together. All right. Thank you very much for taking the time out to join us again. It's great talking to us. Thank you.